to about 40, 50 seconds away from the actual start of the match, you can see quite a lot of the Goon, Balgorn, and the Mala, as well as the two Punishers, have all come in quite close. They're only about 30 away from the center of the arena. I think initially they're going to burn in for these harbs. You either want to get tackle on these harbs while the battle cruisers Alpha or the frigates, or they're going to kite away and try and use their range control to their advantage.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's going to be super interesting to watch what the support does on the Goonswarm side during the start of this match. Are they going to go for those bombers, or are they going to make the the standard choice and go for the Aneros? And I think if they go for the bombers, it's underway here. So let's see what in fact they do. Both sides burning towards each other really quickly here.
Yeah, the Goon Balgorn is currently being shot. So they've went for all that battlecruiser damage on the Balgorn, while the Hound is also being shot. Those bombers are being got out the way very early. It's already in structure.
Yeah, and meanwhile, it looks like webs are being spread over the entirety of the battlecruiser core, with newts and webs going down on both the Paradigm, Starlight, while some jams seem to be being applied to the Navy Brutix of Xerox. So just E-War everywhere, and meanwhile, that Hound is bouncing back and forth, its health bar going up and down as the Navy battlecruisers just try and burn through its reps.
But the Hound's already down, but this Balgorn has dropped to about 25% armor. It looks like it's only just about holding. It's painted, it's neutered, it's grappled, it's webbed. Let's see if it can survive as another Purifier for Spectre Fleet actually goes down.
Oh my god, I think Goonswarm might be pulling ahead here. Their advantage is just so... It looks like they're taking out all of the battleship level DPS from the enemy team, and they're not trading anything back for it. They need to put something down on that Aneros to stop it from repping, or they are just going to be trading 12 points of bombers for pretty much nothing.
Spectre Fleet have slightly messed up here. They've got an absolute massive
bomber
wave.
Down.
They've got a massive wave of rep drones, which is just sitting on that Aneros and not helping any of the bombers.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep him alive for the inevitable switch onto the Logi, and it's going to come soon enough. In fact, we can see damage starting to be applied to this Aneros now as webs go down on it. But still, this Balgorn is holding on his 10% armor.
Looks like it's out of ancillary charges. It's starting to dip into structure now. 7% armor remaining. It's just getting 1 or 2% at a time, and I don't think it can hold.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch this Armageddon seems to be trying to smart bomb off the rep drones that are on top of that Balgorn, but he's hard tackled. He can't get quite
Balgorn
close
is
enough.
Down.
Oh, but it goes down. Oh my god, that's a huge swing.
Yeah, it just got completely alphaed. Now Spectre Fleet are ahead in points and ahead in control. This Oneris is dropping to about 50% armor, but this horde of rep drones is slowly keeping it alive. If it can stay alive long enough for Spectre Fleet to maybe eliminate a couple of the battle cruisers, or maybe the opposing Oneris, they've got this match in the bag. But this Oneris is just slowly getting caught. I think it's managing to stay stable with the amount of rep drones on it.
Yeah, but the Spectre Fleet team absolutely needs to start utilizing those Armageddons. I'm not seeing newts down anywhere. They're just about starting to get those newts onto that Aneros, and that is great. But they need to be utilizing the tackle of those Harbingers. They need to get on top of it and start melting it down so that they can trade, because this Aneros will not be stable forever. It's still burning charges. Eventually, it will go down, even as they do burn through that Navy Brutix. I can't, if they lose one more battlecruiser, they're not going to be able to break the reps of that Aneros.
I'm not sure if the stream can see it, because if you can't, there's a slew of E-War that are coming on the Spectre Fleet main line. They've got newts on absolutely everything. They've got webs on three ships, and there's actually ECM on both the Navy Brutixes. As we know, these Navy battlecruisers have a really, really low sensor strength, so are very weak to jams. I think these are all Hornets, as I'm watching the Hornets fly about from battlecruiser to battlecruiser.
Yeah, and we're seeing one of the Goon Brutix Navy issues go down now, but that Aneros is... Oh, my God! Straight into structure there, barely a % left, and it's down! That's a huge, huge loss for the Spectre Fleet team there. Their only stability has gone from the field. They have to kill the enemy Aneros right now, or they are going to be out of this game, they're going to start being burnt through by the enemy Harbingers so quickly.
That was a huge amount of damage that just come off, and a huge play for Spectre Fleet. But saying that, the Goon Oneirus is dropping to about 40%, 30% armor. They do not have the rep bots that the Spectre Fleet has. It's a race now. The Oneirus is in 20%, while the Harbinger is in 40%.
Yeah, and here we are. You can just see the amount of E-War. An interesting point here, as that Oneirus goes down into structure, into those Navy Harbingers, those look like they are optimal range disruptors, bringing in those things as close as possible so that they can't escape the Armageddon nukes. And now we're down with no Oneirus left on the field for either side. It's just going to be a pure DPS race. You know, the amount of points put on to this tackle almost irrelevant at this point, as both teams are just going to trade haymaker for haymaker, trying to kill these mainline DPS ships.
It's important thing you've got to watch here is, even though they're down, the amount of newts that are still spreading across the team. These ships are slowly going to start running cap dry, because Brutixes and Harbingers fire. Oh, as the Harbinger for Goons goes down as well. These ships are all going to be flying pulse lasers or blasters or hybrids, which means they're not cap stable. If their cap runs dry, they cannot fire anymore, which looks to be what's happening with a lot of these ships as the DPS starts to drop, as another Spectre Fleet Navy Harbinger starts to go down.
Yeah, it looks like the control has finally dropped away from that Armageddon, and he's getting right in here, sticking at 0 on Asher Elias in the Harbinger Navy, neuting him down as he spreads, as he looks to go onto that final one of Quan. If they're left with no DPS on the field here, I think you can easily add 2 and 2 together and figure out who's going to be in an advantage. This is so back and forth, though. It's just going to take one mistake on either side to tip this.
Yeah, because Spectre Fleet, all they have is a Navy Harbinger left, and while it's dipping in about 10-15% armor, it's been staying there for quite a while. They're still abusing the amount of rep bots they've got, and they're still just about keeping him alive as the Navy Harbinger for Goons drops into structure now. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like last year we are going to see Goons in the actual Alliance tournament unless they go through this hell bracket.
I mean, you know, there's always the chance for a miracle, never say never, but there's only so much a Mala, 2 Punishers, and a Daredevil can do, and I think this just shows why those bombers are so central to this comp, as without the damage that they put out, you just can't carry through.
Yeah, as this Harbinger drops into 75% armor, 75% structure, sorry, you can see that even though it's got nothing left, there's no Logi, even though there's barely maybe 2 or 3 rep bots left, there's just not enough damage left on the Goon side to be able to finish it down. It's bleeding slowly, and it looks like it's finally going to go down.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it was an incredible show from both teams here, using the control that this comp has really well, but unfortunately, you know, trading those four bombers does seem to have worked out well for Spectre Fleet, being able to put damage down on that Balgorn early, get the control off the field, and leave them with the neutralizing advantage in that Armageddon.
Yeah, the Armageddon did an amazing job there when I think it neutered out the Oneirus early. So that is why we saw the Balgorn hold for so long and then drop. That Oneirus hit the last of its cap and then couldn't do any more. And at that point, everything started to crumble.
Yeah, if they'd maybe been able to kill off those bombers a little faster, get those Punishers in on them, they would have been able to hold that Balgorn. You know, it was hanging in there so close. It just took one coordinated last volley from the rest of the battlecruisers, though, to brew its reps and its structures at once, as we see this token Daredevil go down now. Wow. You know, one other thing that came really into its own in this match was the Armageddon's newt range. You know, being able to apply those newts right away, if you are almost using a flagship Balgorn, which obviously aren't a part of this sub-tournament.
Yeah, it really did really well here, as the last of these Punishers are finally getting shot. Punishers were an interesting choice as compared to Daredevils, because Daredevils, as we know, are the points discounted ship for this Alliance tournament. So why did you think they brought Punishers instead of Daredevils?
I think the vast majority of it is the Punishers can fit an absolutely insane tank. You know, you can look at like 15k EHP with the boosts that the Navy Harbingers provide. And that means that you can get in there, you can stick on them, and you don't have to waste reps for the vast majority of the fight, which is great if you're looking to go up against a team that's going to try and take your own Aneros out.
Yeah, I think we can tell with how long they're actually surviving here and not going down that these ships are really tanky. As the match ends with 98 points to Spectre Fleet and 55 points to Goonswarm.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, absolutely insane match. We're going to send this back to the studio and hear what everyone else thought about it. But I am looking forward to seeing what Asher does in the losers bracket. Obviously, you've got to make it through 3 whole matches tomorrow to get through to the tournament. So let's see if they can pull that out of the bag.